Before we start the episode, I realized on my drive over here, there may be a chance one of my balls pops out. So I apologize in the event that happens.
I need to go sit over by the camera.
I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing shorts. I don't think I've worn shorts on the podcast before, but they're very like loose shorts, and then I got some loose underwear, so nothing is secured. Anything can happen.
Thank God. I like how we're matching today. Well, no, I'm not wearing black shoes, but
yeah, close enough. We're wearing clothes. We're matching.
Silver rings.
Hell yeah.
Mine got some fake tribal.
Fake tribal. Uh-oh.
Like a tribal tattoo. I just like the design, and it's also the only one that fits my pinky.
Mine just has words. Dude, I want a pink earring so bad.
A pink earring?
Pinky ring.
Oh,
like a ring for my pinky. But my shit is so tiny. I think it's like below a size 1.
I got a bag of like 100 that you can go through.
Yeah, I think I have, and there's just none that fit my pinky.
We'll see before you leave. Do you have social anxiety about being a Karen at a restaurant? Like, are you like unable to complain at a restaurant?
Or I wouldn't say it's because of social anxiety of me coming off as a Karen. I just know that people in restaurants are just overworked, underpaid.
Yeah.
And so if they fuck up my shit, I'm just like, well, I mean,
it's not even,
it is what it is.
So last night we went to a vegan restaurant. And I've been there before. I went there for brunch, and it was like the best brunch I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
They're a little bit of a coffee snob, but I mean, a lot of they them's making the coffee, so it came out good.
Okay.
But we went last night for dinner, and we walked up, and it's, first of all, it's in like a house downtown.
It's in somebody's house?
Well, like, you know how they have the houses?
Oh, that they like turn into businesses.
Yeah,
and shit?
So it's like in one of those. So it's actually above Thai Basil.
Okay.
So it's like you walk upstairs, and it's like upstairs in that house. And so it's just like a room, right? So they were like, oh, just 2 of you? And we were like, yeah. And they were like, sit anywhere. So we sat down by a window because we wanted to like by a window, and they were like, oh, not that table. And it's like, okay, well, it didn't have a reserve sign. It was an open table. It was cleaned off. Like, I don't know what we're doing here.
Dumbass, that's the display table.
So apparently, and it was in the corner too. It was like in the corner at the furthest end of the restaurant. So like it wasn't like whatever. And so we like moved tables, and then it took them like 25 minutes to come up and actually like take our order. And so they came up and they were like, "Oh, are you guys ready to order?" And we were like, "Yeah."
Were they busy?
No.
So they're just sitting there. It's just only you two guys.
Yes.
In an empty restaurant.
It wasn't
They're
empty.
waiting 25 minutes.
It wasn't empty. I can remember. So there was 2 people on the opposite wall of me, because it was like a sliding door, you know, like doors that like partition the room.
Yeah.
So there was like a sliding door like that. We sat at like the door frame. So on like the opposite side of the wall from us, there was 2 people. Then at the table, like 2 tables down from us, because there was like 3 tables in a row, there was 2 people, but they were already eating, so it wasn't like they were like doing anything. And then there was a group of people that sat down behind them, so like if you like drew like a backwards L, and then that was it. So there was like 3 or 4 other parties in there, but maybe total 10 people.
Okay.
So then she comes up and she's like, oh, are you guys ready to order? So we order a drink. I just had water, and then Sean ordered like a margarita or something. And then we were like, oh, we'll start with the fries, because the fries there are hella good. And then she was like, oh, do you want to just order all your food together? And we were like, okay, sure. So we order. It took her 25 more minutes to bring us Sean's drink.
I mean, I can understand busy restaurants when you order a drink, it taking a little while. But I have never understood about restaurants when I order just and beer, why they will take 30 minutes to just pull the top off of a bottle and bring it to my table.
You know, so that's the whole thing, is we were like, we were watching her do stuff, and she was like just doing everything but making drinks. And then like I assume it was her friend, because she was like chatting her up at the bar.
Oh, okay.
Was like just talking to her, made her a drink. So then the fries come out like 30 minutes after we order. 5 minutes after we finally get the drink, but they drop the drink off, and she's like, okay, 1 whatever margarita it was that Sean ordered, and 1 strawberry cream soda. And I was like, I didn't order that strawberry cream soda. I ordered water, but you brought water when you came to take our order. So like, I'm good. Yeah. And she was like, oh, okay. And then like, I wasn't expecting to like have her ask me if like I wanted to keep it. I wouldn't have drank it probably because I think it had coconut milk in it, and I'm not like a huge coconut person.
Okay. I mean, if it's mixed in with that much stuff, I'm not a big coconut person either, but if it's mixed in like that, I would probably at least drink it.
It kind of just looked like a pink drink from Starbucks.
I fucked with those. When I worked at Target, I had a boss that was on the keto diet. And
dude, what is it with retail bosses and keto diets?
I don't know. I never understood it. He was talking about how like he needs to be in a certain like fucking flow state, and then his body burns fat. But if he's too far in the flow state, he'll just die.
I'm not.
And
then
I was like, what the fuck? But he would get the keto pink drink from Starbucks, and that shit was fire.
Because you were drinking butter.
Yeah.
You were drinking probably butter.
It was good.
I literally watched one of the managers at the store I used to work at put butter in her coffee, and I just was like, "You're." Oh, first off, you're a perfectly normal sized woman. Like, not in any way, shape, or form overweight. Not like 2000 skinny, but definitely not overweight. You're also like 55. Yeah, because
she's putting butter in her coffee.
Apparently. I don't know, just disgusting. But anyway, so it just looked like it wasn't like my thing. I didn't want it. So they take it away, and then she just gives it to her friend at the bar, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. So then the waiter or the other waiter that was there, but there's two people that are there, by the way, waiting tables for the size of this house. Like, it's not even big. And so he comes out, and I was like, oh, our food's coming. And he comes out, and he's like, okay, did someone order the bruschetta? And I was like, no, we didn't order the bruschetta. So he was
they
like,
just have no fucking clue what's happening at this restaurant.
No. So then I hear him go back, and he's like, well, he tells me, he goes, oh, well, your table, he goes, it says 9, but they all have a G in front. So I might have read the G as a 6. And I was like, but my table's 9. So then I listened to him go back, and she's telling him, no, it is for table 9, but not that table 9. And I was like, what is the organization?
Are they just all table 9, just different letters?
I guess. I have no fucking clue.
That's weird.
So another like 10 minutes passes. She brings us the fries. And Sean goes, oh, do you want to ask if they have ranch? And I was like, no, I don't actually, because that'll throw the whole system off. So we figured because she made us order everything all at once, the food was going to come all at once, which I didn't want originally. I wanted to eat fries, but the food did not come with the fries. It took another 15 minutes for the food to come. So the kicker here is that Sean ordered a burger and I ordered gnocchi.
Okay.
And gnocchi is just pasta. And it should be already pre-made.
Yeah, you just throw it in the water to heat it up.
Right. And then it comes in like a cream sauce. So like if you're making a cream sauce, fine, but it shouldn't take more than like 5 minutes to make a cream sauce, especially like in a kitchen, because it's like single serving. So you're throwing your vegan butter, the cream, whatever they use, the lemon, the herbs, whatever, stirring it in a pan while the gnocchi's boiling.
Yeah.
Throw it all together and call it a day. Sean ordered an Impossible Burger. So that's in a bag. Like that's just throw it on the fucking griddle and let it cook and then whatever. He also ordered no onions, and she came up and she was like, okay, the burger, no onions, and then it had onions in it.
Hell yeah, I love that.
So then they came up, we ate our food, and I was like, she's gonna ask us if we want dessert, and I'm gonna tell her no, I have a dog to get home to tonight. And so Sean was like laughing, and she comes up and she's like, do you want dessert? And I was like, oh no, thank you. And then she was like, okay, let me bring you guys the bill. Brought the bill so fast.
It's always fast.
And I was just like, we got there at like 6:15 and we left at like 8:15. And I was like, okay, I understand if this place was crowded. I understand if whatever, but like 2 hours for a burger and some gnocchi, crazy. And it honestly wasn't even that good.
But you know what is good? This episode of the Learning Curve podcast, episode 12.
Oh shit, we are on episode 12. Lucky number 12.
Lucky 12.
You know what I realized? I think that this is a sneak peek for our avid listeners. Our Star Wars episode is going to be on May 4th.
Is it? Because tickets for that go on sale, what, April 17th?
April 14th.
April 14th?
I'm pulling up the calendar. But the movie comes out on the 25th. Oh, no, 1 day short.
Are you going to go on the 25th?
Well, it comes out on the 25th. We have to figure out what day we're going to go.
Okay. Do you know how long it's going to be in theaters?
Probably just the
weekend. Just like a week?
Probably just the weekend.
Just the weekend?
Yeah, so we're going to have to go that weekend.
Okay.
But the following episode would be recorded on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah. Let me know what day you guys end up going, because me and Haley might go same day, same time.
Oh, we figured we'd go with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Let's introduce ourselves before we forget again. We haven't forgotten in 2 episodes. So this is 3.
Yeah.
Lucky number 3. I'm back in my slutty shorts you can't even see. I'm Cameron.
I am Bodhi, aka Shrinky Dink, aka Mr. Sniffles. I apologize for all the sniffling. I'm getting better. Minor sniffles this week, possibly. But I'm feeling
You need some
better.
ivermectin.
I do need some ivermectin. My horse cock is sick. Gotta give it horse medicine.
We might see that horse cock today. What do you got to talk about? I'm glad you have something to talk about, because I was literally sitting at my desk at work yesterday like, shit.
No, yeah, I told Sean, I was like, I'm just going to milk the traders thing again, and then I'm just going to talk about the Nintendo Direct.
Let's talk about the Nintendo Direct, because
let's do the traders thing first.
Oh, you want to
yeah,
debrief on it?
With that. Yeah. Okay. How did you feel you performed?
Well, I like that I caused so much drama in the first round. For those of you who weren't here, which is almost everyone that listens to this podcast, I got voted out second.
I got voted out second.
No. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Third. Okay, so
third.
Second round, sorry.
Yeah.
I got voted out in the second round. Fourth person out, because we voted out one person.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I was...
Or no, I think...
Because we voted out one person.
Yeah, I think I got voted out and then you got killed that same round, right?
No, you got killed, didn't you?
They tried to kill me the first round. I had a shield that I didn't tell anybody about, okay, so I lived. I made it to second round. I got voted out second round.
And then I got voted out right after you.
Yeah.
So I was the fourth person out, because we voted out Jacob first.
Yeah.
And then we killed someone. I forget who the first... Oh, no, because the person that was supposed to be killed got saved. Remember?
Okay.
It was a shield.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
So I was...
But either way, we were out early.
Yeah, I was the third person out.
Nobody likes us.
I think I just overplayed my hand a little bit. I became a ringleader real quickly, and...
Yeah, first round, I was just like, I don't know any of these people. We had our group, and I was like, I'll just stick with this group. And then... They tried to kill me because I asked,
You asked who everyone was.
Yeah, I asked who everyone was. We had a wall with a bunch of like faces and names on it. This wall back here had a bunch of photos of people, but a lot of the photos didn't look like the person. And so I was like, can you just like introduce yourselves? And then someone was like, there's a wall with our names on it. And I was like,
mind you, one person was in drag. One person was literally in drag in one of their photos.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I don't care. I just want to know everybody's name. I immediately forgot all of them, but I at least had like some basic understanding about who is who. And then when Sean picked the traders, I didn't hear him say, oh, I'll tap you and you'll know you're chosen.
Oh, didn't he like scoot by you or something like that, and then you thought you were a trader?
Yeah, he like hit my foot when he was scooting by. He like tapped my foot, but I didn't know how he was picking them. And so afterwards I asked, I was like, how did you pick them again? And then they were like, you're a fucking traitor. And then for whatever reason, the traders decided to kill me round one, even though I had all this suspicion on me. It would have been good to like keep me around longer. I didn't end up dying round one.
Well, see, that was my goal, is to become so unlikable that like I wouldn't win in the end.
Yeah, and then round two, I'm like, okay, all of the people are just immediately throwing suspicion at the group that was just sitting down outside. And so I was like, okay, let me walk around and see what other people are thinking.
We just happened to be outside because we were smoking.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know any of these people. So let me walk around and see what everybody is thinking. Maybe I can hear some people talking and figure out their suspicions because I don't know any of their personalities or whatever. See if I can pick up on something. So I just walked around a bunch, and then I ended up changing my vote because I heard somebody say something about, what was his name? Jake. Yeah.
And you called that. You clocked that shit.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And yeah. And then as the rounds went on, I was like, and I mean, it was after we were told he was a traitor too, but I could see how he was playing it. He kept being like, oh, must be the jacket. And then he ended up taking off the jacket, and then people kind of stopped talking about him. And I was like, I don't know if that was intentional, if that was his strategy, but it ended up working. It got him to the final five.
Final four,
yeah. Yeah, whatever the final number was. Yeah.
Well, it was 5 people out there, but he was voted off. He was the last traitor voted off.
Yeah.
And for those of you invested in it, the faithfuls won. They managed to vote the 2 remaining traitors out at the very final last second.
Yeah, they voted the 2 traitors out, and then they just stopped.
They
I was like, oh, that's
fucking crazy. I was flabbergasted. So after everyone left, I was telling Sean that we should do this again, which he wants to do it again. First off, we're going to do it at his parents' house so that we have a lot more space. Yeah. But I told him that we shouldn't do the traitors format. The challenges were fine. I think the challenges were perfectly creative. But
dude, I was fucking hurting after the first challenge.
I'm glad that he got that out of the way first, because imagine doing it after the shot challenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I told him we should do it Survivor style next time, so that rather than having this whole, because no one wanted to have a round table, which was weird. Like, that's the whole point of the traitors, is that you have like an open discussion, and that really wasn't happening. It was I mean,
I think there were just too many people who didn't know each other.
Right. And so that's the whole thing. So I told him we should do it Survivor style, where we sit down in like a tribal council, and he asks like 3 questions, because he's the one watching everyone.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to figure out like what was going on. We didn't even for the first round, for the fucking Easter egg hunt or whatever it was called, I barely even knew who was on our team.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I just know because we kind of drew that line down the field. And so I told him, like, it would be nice, because he's watching everyone and he's paying attention to everything, to have him ask like 3 broad questions to whatever team is on tribal council. Or if we had that many people, I don't think we would do tribes. I mean, we could and then merge them, but he would have to come up with a lot of team challenges. But
I was about to say, at the very least, split the group into 2 distinct, like, it doesn't have to be the same people in each group each time. I think I would like it better if it was randomized, but just for the first like 3 challenges, have it be like team 1 versus team 2 type shit.
Yeah, well, and that's what we said. We said, first off, we had everyone here at 4. We started at 5. I think for the 6-round thing, or the 6-round format, it worked fine. But I think we need to flesh it out a little bit more, because we had to do a lot of double eliminations.
Yeah, so, I think he was just doing that because it was like kind of dragging in the beginning.
Well, he knew that was planned out.
Oh, okay.
The double eliminations was planned out. Like, he knew that, like, to keep it going and to like only do 6 rounds, you were going to need to eliminate a certain amount of people. So I told him, he actually came up with the idea of starting earlier. So next time we'll probably have everyone get to the place around noon and then start at like 2. That way everyone has like a couple hours
to hang out,
mingle and like meet people, and then do it. And so I told him it would be nice to have him ask like 3 broad questions per tribal council, because then it forces a conversation.
Yeah.
And then there's still a vote. Someone goes home. You can even have 2, double eliminations or whatever. And then you merge. And then at the merge, but the only thing is that you know how Survivor they do the jury? It would the jury would start immediately. It wouldn't start with like, because you know how like in Survivor they have like 25 people, and then like the last
10 that get people, voted out
go on the jury. It would just be everyone that gets voted out goes on the jury. Okay. And I told him I think that would be nice, because then you can make the jury be sequestered. You can literally be like, oh, like, whatever, but they watch the tribal council. Yeah. So you can be like, oh, we're going to go do this challenge, but you cannot watch the challenge, and you cannot like listen in on people's conversations. You can only be at tribal council. Okay. And I think that would be a lot more.
So no traitors, no killing, just a tribal council to decide winner?
Yeah. Okay. Because then you still get the voting aspect of it. Everyone's still voting each other out. Yeah. And there's still like the whole like whatever, like the whole like collusion thing, but Survivor forces you to have alliances. You could still have immunity idols, you know, and all these things. The only thing I think that we wouldn't incorporate from Survivor would be like rewards necessarily, because like
because I don't need the fat bag of rice.
Yeah, so it would maybe like an advantage, like you can win like an advantage in the next challenge or whatever, but like you know, whatever. And so he said he would do that. He would think about doing that again.
I think the next challenge we should do should be based on the Amazing Race. He should give all of us $100 and tell us to get to New York City. First one there wins.
$100. That's gonna get us to like Utah, maybe.
You gotta fucking figure out the rest.
Fly Spirit Airlines. I'm not getting on a plane.
I'm not getting on a plane. No, I can't get on a plane.
Why? Oh, you don't have a real ID?
No.
Oh, dude, you're so fucked.
I have to renew my license this year too. I was thinking about actually going into the DMV to have my photo retaken, but then I was like, the real ID shit is happening. Mm-hmm. Plus, I need to renew my license. Plus, I need to renew my registration. Do a registration I can do online. Yeah. And maybe I can do the license online. I don't know.
The real ID? No.
Not the real ID, but just renew my driver's license.
They will tell you.
Okay.
It will like
because they give me they let you mail in like a renewal thing. So I'm like, so why wouldn't I be able to do it online?
It's like random. It's literally random of like of when, because you know how like sometimes you have to do a smog test and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
With your registration.
Yeah. So I don't want to go to the DMV. It's fucking insane out there. I mean, it's always insane, but it's extra insane because now everybody is trying to get the real ID thing.
I need to get a passport.
I want to get a passport.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So I'm kind of in like a weird situation right now because I want to have a passport, one, because I do want to do international travel eventually, if that's allowed, if we're even allowed to leave our own state soon. But second, I learned recently that I get dual citizenship in Serbia.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
I'm eligible for it because I think it's 2 generations from a native-born person. My grandma was born there. My dad was not. So me and my sister would be the second generation. So I could apply for dual citizenship there.
Okay.
And then I would get a U.S. passport and a Serbian passport. And Serbia is part of the EU, I believe. Which means I would get an EU passport, which means I could just freely travel
Europe
as I please.
Okay, so you would do it not because you want to go to Serbia, but just for all of Europe.
I would go to Serbia. I don't know. Like, the whole thing is like, I'm not that close with my dad's family. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very, like, we're not, like, butting heads or anything like that. We just don't have that type of relationship. Mm-hmm. But, like, Serbia's just never been on my bucket list. Like, there's...
That's where tigers come from, right?
Like Siberia.
Oh, okay.
Tigers are primarily in South Asia, but they're also in Siberia.
Okay.
So it's like North Asia and South Asia. Middle part, no.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of a TikTok that said that tigers should be the king of the jungle, but tigers don't live in jungles. They live in...
Yeah, they do. You ever see Tarzan?
Tarzan was not accurate.
What are you talking about?
Tarzan was in South America.
Yeah, and they had a tiger in the jungle.
Tigers don't live in South America. And a man
raised by gorillas. And a British guy who wanted to kill all the gorillas.
I've never seen Tarzan. Anyway, but yeah, and so I'm like, I want to kind of like explore that first before I get a passport. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter, but I don't want to like have to keep going back to fucking whatever. But to me, Serbia doesn't have, besides genocide, a lot of cultural identity. And they were the ones doing the genocide, so... You know.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Serbia except the tigers.
Well, Serbia is just a breakout state from Yugoslavia, which was like all of the Slavic nations. And then they were like, hey, these Muslims look good to kill. We'll kill them. And then that's where Bosnia and Herzegovina, is that what it's called? Bosnia and Herzegovina came from. Like they tried to kill all the Bosnians, and then Bill Clinton said airstrikes. It's honestly, it's easier to learn about the Israel-Palestine thing than it is about that. Like, I have watched so many documentaries on the whole fucking like Serbian, Bosnian conflict and genocide,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like I'm like, why are we fighting? Like, what is it? Religious? Is it ethnic? Is it both? And the answer is kind of just no and yes at the same time for both. And
They just got bored.
pretty much. It's just Europe. It's just the European mindset of let's just fight. So, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, have you seen anything from it? What'd you see?
Well, I saw the tariffs are gonna make the Switch like $1,000.
Yeah,
which fucking pisses me off because they announced that Kirby game that I want.
Yeah, there is. I don't know if it was like 100% or if it was just them thinking about it, but there's a chance they don't even ship any of that to the US.
Yeah.
So we won't get the Switch 2.
Possibly.
We won't get any of those games because they're all like Switch 2 exclusives.
Low key, I'm gonna just DM someone that I know that lives in any country that gets it and be like, "Can you buy this for me? Like, I will Venmo you, you buy it for me, and then mail it to me." Like,
would that get a tariff?
No, because I'm not import. It's a gift.
Okay.
Also,
that's it. That's what we need to do.
No.
All of these companies just need to gift their goods to us.
Yeah. Buy it overseas and then ship it in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw on the tariff list, the Vatican for some reason is like exempt from all tariffs, and so people were like, the Vatican has the opportunity to do the funniest economic thing possible right now and just become a shipping hub.
Yeah, no, they had that Kirby game, the new Mario Kart. You see that?
Free roam.
Yeah,
Reminds me of the
open world Mario
Cars
Kart
video game,
which I don't know what the fuck there is to do in an open world Mario Kart.
Do exactly what you do on GTA when you get bored.
You just drive and
Obey
follow
the laws.
traffic laws. Yeah.
You could be the non-binary cow.
Yeah,
Did you see all the fucking characters?
They added like the skeleton fish, which that will be my main if I ever get to play that.
They added the penguins.
Yeah, they added the penguins. I mostly like it, kind of don't like it. The concept of once you finish a race, you have to drive to the next track. I thought it was just like you drive
There's
there.
different modes.
Well, you finish one race and then you have to drive in the open world to the next track.
Gotcha.
I thought how it would work is you finish the race and then it's essentially another race to the next track, because once you get there, then it's like, okay, I kind of got a head start over all these other people. But on each of the preceding tracks, you only will do one lap because it'll count 2 laps as you're driving to the next course. I still want to do 3 laps on the next course.
I'm sure they'll have a mode for that.
Maybe they will. I hope they do.
All I know is that someone posted a picture of the open world map and was like, okay, this is a really cool map, but no Rainbow Road. And someone goes, bro,
how do you want to get to the sky?
It's in space. Yeah. I'm sure that there's going to be probably I think it's called like Maple Grove or something like that. Is that the one in the tree?
Yeah.
I'm confident that in Maple, because in every Mario Kart that I've played with that map or something similar, there's like cannons in that.
Yeah.
I'm confident you could just go and drive into a cannon and it shoot you right up into space, and you'll have planet to space side things like Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Mario has kind of always had that across different games, just like things you can shoot yourself out of to go somewhere impossible.
I don't understand the mouse thing.
It is so fucking dumb. Nintendo every now and then will come up with a great concept like the Wii using motion controls, like Wii Sports and shit like that.
Is the mouse on the Switch, or is it like you can use the mouse for your computer?
You can't use it with a computer. I know that much.
Okay.
But how it essentially will function is it'll have it uses like the same motion controls that are already in the controller. So it's got like however it works, like a gyroscope or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be able to tell when it's like tilted a certain direction and then moved in a certain direction. So like that wheelchair game.
Greg Abbott.
You didn't see that? Yeah, they put the Greg Abbott simulator on Nintendo Switch 2 as an exclusive.
Buying the Greg Abbott game and rolling myself right into traffic.
It's a wheelchair basketball game.
Oh, that's cool. Like A bunch of people in wheelchairs playing basketball?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, how you have to
That's
move
woke.
is you have to use like the mouse part of the Switch.
Oh, they want you to fucking get a workout in.
Yeah.
That's, you know what game they should put in Mario Kart free play? They should merge with the little plane ride thing from Wii Sports Resort. That shit was my cup of tea. Yeah. Not to be too British on this podcast right now, but I really liked the 5-minute thing that it gave you to just fly around on a plane and counted that as exercise for some reason.
Dive into the volcano and then come in inverted of the exit. Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, so that wheelchair basketball game using their new like controls. I don't think anybody is going to fucking use that, honestly, because they have like motion games on the Switch. Well, nobody fucking does it. Everybody just hates using the Joy-Cons to begin with, and they'll normally use like a GameCube controller or like a Pro controller or something like that.
I hate when I play co-op games with Sean holding that tiny little thing. Like,
it's so small.
I don't know. It's just hard for me to control. I really think, and I not to be, you know, this guy, but I really do think that Nintendo peaked with the GameCube. Like, I do think that the way that the GameCube was priced at like $50 was nice. I think that the way it functioned was nice. There was no like storage on it. It was all just slide in your little memory card.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there was no game menu. It was just put the game you want in and then that game will start. And I think that the controller was just the best.
Yeah.
I think it was my favorite controller.
Well, GameCube controllers are still produced today. Like,
yeah, because you can still use them.
You cannot find a first party like Wiimote for sale at like Target.
Yeah.
Or especially not a first party Nintendo 64 controller. But you will find first party GameCube controllers still.
So, okay. So this is my thing. I think that the whole mouse thing with Nintendo isn't a Nintendo thing. I think it's a tech thing. I think that we are living in this age where people our age, at least, I would say people that were like younger millennials, older Gen Z, that kind of sweet spot where they were like born in like 1990 through like 2000, maybe 2001. They grew up in a world where like there was a huge technology boom because like when we were born, the internet wasn't, it was there, but it wasn't like a thing.
Yeah.
Like I distinctively remember dial-up internet.
Yeah.
But like now I have my phone where I can just access anything. Okay. And so there was this point when technology just started kind of like, it went from like this like slope to like a straight vertical leap.
Yeah.
And we're at a point, I think, where there's a plateau and tech companies don't really know what else to do other than like kneecap things and then like intentionally plan it for like 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road. Because if you look at stuff like Apple, right? Apple's whole thing has always been to whatever's like popular, not do it right away because they want to watch everyone else fail so that they don't fail. Right? That's like why like people were like, oh, widgets on iOS 13. We've had that for 10 years on Android. And it's like, yeah, and look how unusable Androids are. Right? So they took the time to develop it. And I think when you look at their hardware now, they're also doing these like gimmicky things where it's like, what is that for? Like the action button, the fucking camera control button that they put on the iPhone 16. Like, even as like someone who is a photographer, I would never use that. I would use the button on the fucking screen. And so I think Nintendo is doing the same thing where they're just like, we don't really have much left to do for like, there's not much like, as far as like the Switch and like the concept of like a handheld gaming device like that, there's not much left that you can do to change up the design to make it more optimal. There's not much more you can do to change up like features that can make it more optimal other than include like a micro LED screen or an OLED screen and just like ramp up the fucking RAM in it so that it can actually process games properly.
I think Nintendo has just always liked adding gimmicks into their systems, and they don't always add like the best gimmicks. Like
What were some I mean, but were there any gimmicks on GameCube?
Yes.
What were the gimmicks?
I forget what it's called. It was like Partner Link or something, but there was a cable you could use to connect the GameCubes together.
Yeah. Okay. So you could have 8 players. Yeah.
Yeah. The Nintendo 64 had like the Rumble Pack that you could throw into the controller to make it vibrate. The Wii
had the
whole
fucking gun.
motion controls.
Did you ever have the Nerf game for Wii?
I didn't. I think I played it at Josh's house.
I had the Nerf game and I had a fucking gun attachment for my controllers.
Yeah, but
I was walking around with like a fucking what are those things called? Tommy guns.
Yeah,
it was a Tommy gun attachment. Yeah.
We had the motion controls with the little light bar that you had to have set up. The Wii U,
the little thing that used to have to go on top of your TV.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The Wii U was
never had the Wii
first
U.
kind of like half handheld, half console system.
I just know that the Wii U was not popular.
Yeah, no, the Wii U fucking failed.
Was there a gimmick for the DS?
Other
than the original DS, not the fucking Nintendo 3DS XL 3D 4D,
I mean, it being
mommy
like
milkers, whatever.
Like a handheld 2-screen. I guess the gimmick for the DS was just being able to play on like 2 screens. Yeah. On like a handheld.
I guess it also had the GameCube. Or the Game Boy.
The Game Boy cartridge on the bottom. Yeah, that was sick.
But I don't really count that as a gimmick. I think if you're...
it's just something that like, instead of just saying, oh, here's the Switch, it's, oh, here's the Switch, it does this.
Yeah, okay, so
Nintendo is like fucking packing the Switch 2 with this type of thing. So they got
am I correct that they're doing a GameCube emulator?
Yeah. They're baking that into the Switch too.
$900 for this now because
it has upgraded features of the Switch 1. Like it's got a little better kickstand instead of that tiny little piece of plastic on like the right side. It's like a full stand that folds out from the back, which should have been on the Switch 1.
That is one thing that I think the rest of the tech industry can take from Apple, is that Apple really makes their products feel very premium in the hand, even if they're not premium. And I think like that would be nice for Nintendo, because Nintendo has always felt, to me at least, cheap.
Yeah.
And not that I need $1,000 Switch. Like I'm not asking for a stainless steel Switch, you know, but like making it feel sturdy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. For me, one of the best tech designs ever is the MacBook Pro, because it's like, it's metal, right? But it's so heavy, but the screen, it's so well balanced that you can open up the screen without having to hold down the bottom part, because it's so perfectly counterbalanced. That's like that small attention to detail is like, I think Nintendo can pick that up, because like the Switch on Switch, even I'm like, I hold it and I'm like, this kind of feels like
it does feel janky.
Dollar Tree quality.
But
like,
they are upgrading a lot of the features, like the buttons, the size of the Joy-Con, the screen resolution, the internals of it.
I hate that the Joy-Cons are, at least on the Switch, when I haven't seen like the full render of the Switch 2, I fucking hate that the Joy-Cons or the joysticks are fucking not aligned.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nintendo has never had like aligned sticks on anything.
GameCube controllers?
No.
Yeah, because they had A, B, Y, and X. Then they had the main thing, and then they had C and whatever the other one was.
Yeah, but those buttons are all like jumbled up in the top right.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like on the Switch, if you're holding it like this, you have one Joy-Con or one joystick up here and one joystick down here. So you're holding it like
it's like the Xbox design.
I would like it to just have the 2 joysticks like that, so that my thumbs, like if I went like this and moved them in a straight line, touched each other.
Oh, okay. So you just care about the sticks. You don't care about anything else.
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm fine with like the GameCube layout of the buttons. Okay. Like the way that like the A was bigger and the B was hella tiny. Like that was fine.
I hate that shit. I like my controllers to be perfectly symmetrical.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If they release Spider-Man 2 on that emulator, I'm paying whatever Nintendo I need to pay. I'll fly to Japan and get a Switch.
I thought you were talking about the fucking Insomniac one for a second,
God,
and I was like,
no,
how the fuck is the Switch gonna run that?
The Switch allegedly runs some games that I question.
Yeah.
Like they were like, we're putting Arkham Knight on the Switch, and I was like, are you sure? That might become like an IED. Like, Arkham Knight couldn't run on the PS4 when it was released.
They're also adding, which PlayStation had this back in the PlayStation 2 era, a little camera that you can plug into the Switch, and then you have a little camera.
Yeah,
on there.
They have like zoom on Switch now.
So it's like Nintendo is always very gimmicky with its shit. Sometimes the gimmicks are good, sometimes they fucking fail. But Nintendo as a whole is a very regressive company. Their voice chat, if they've just never had like in-game voice chat for anything. PlayStation 2 had in-game voice chat.
I'm not gonna lie.
Xbox, the OG Xbox had in-game voice chat.
I think I would be comfortable asking something like the Nintendo Switch to support video and voice chat while I'm playing a game. I feel like that would I feel like I'd be watching like a video that looks like I'm watching it on an Android. Like it just seems like it would take up too much power.
Oh.
Like it wouldn't
it's not that hard to do. Nintendo just doesn't do it for whatever reason. It is the year 2025 and they're finally adding
we're
integrated
talking about the company
voice
that
chat.
Has milked their main character.
Yeah.
For, 50 years now?
Yeah, but like they had voice chat with the Nintendo Switch, the first one, but how you had to do it was really fucking dumb. You had to download an app onto your phone. You had to buy a special proprietary cable to connect your phone to your Switch. And then you needed to have a separate headset to like do the fucking voice communication.
Just use Discord.
Yeah, so that's what everybody did. They just used Discord. And now Nintendo, which I think is a good thing that they're adding to the Switch too, they're basically just putting Discord on the Switch, but their own version of it. It works exactly the same. Like you can, that's what the camera is for.
Okay.
Also, you can voice chat, video chat. You could stream your games to other people in the call. So I think that's cool that they're adding it, but it's like the first integrated voice chat on a Nintendo console
in the year 2025.
In the year 2025.
Yeah.
Like it's just fucking ridiculous how slow they are to do some things.
Well, and that's the whole thing is like if they were slow to do things and then they brought it out, rolled out the feature and it worked just immaculately, like awesome, but like
it's not going to work well at all. Like Nintendo Online, historically terrible servers.
Do they have multiplayer services?
Yeah, Nintendo Online.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. You try using it though. Like they had online services on the Wii. Like you play Mario Kart on the Wii. There was a GoldenEye game.
I remember the internet being on the Wii, but I was not allowed to connect my Wii to our internet.
I didn't have internet for like the longest time growing up, but when we finally got it, I would play the GoldenEye, like it wasn't a remake. I think it was kind of like a reboot.
Yeah.
On the Switch, or not on the Switch, on the Wii. And it's a first-person shooter on the Wii, which terrible to play. But the version that we got came with an actual like controller that you could plug into one of the ports on the Wii. And so I was just fucking mopping motherfuckers up because they're all trying to play with motion controls, and I got aim assist. So it's just GG.
I played GoldenEye, but I think I played it on the PlayStation 1.
I mean, the first GoldenEye came out on the Nintendo 64. It might have been on the PlayStation 1. I don't remember. I know we had it for the N64.
I played it on a console. That's all I know.
Okay. There was a GoldenEye on PlayStation 2 that was nothing like the first ones, because in the first scene of the game, James Bond dies.
Okay, so it is a James Bond game. Yeah, okay. Maybe it was a PlayStation 2. I don't know. It was at my friend Justin's house.
Yeah, but that game was hella cool because you had this like, you could go akimbo weapons. You had an actual golden eye that had like powers that you could do, so you could like force push people and
that's
like
crazy.
Fucking suck weapons to yourself to use them and shit like that. It was a crazy ass game. I love playing that.
I don't know. I think Nintendo's not focused on the right things, because if you would ask me like what the Switch, like right now, like if you said, okay, here's the Switch 1, what do we do for Switch 2? I'd say bigger screen.
Done.
Right. But I would say like I want like an iPhone screen on it. Like I want a nice HD screen. not some fucking thing that I can see every individual pixel on.
I mean, I think they are doing that for the next one.
Okay.
It's supposed to have like a super high resolution screen on it.
I would also say I want the controllers, like the actual like ones that slide onto the side, to feel more connected.
Yeah,
which they're not doing. Isn't it like a magnet now or something like that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an insanely strong magnet that like holds it onto there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you fucking drop that shit, it's gonna make the like Lego disassembling sound. Yeah.
I do like that they are making it all black with like accents. I will say that's nice.
Yeah, it does look a lot more sleek. I like the color on it.
What else would I say? I just want it to feel more premium, and I think they just need to up the RAM in it, because like even scrolling through the menu on a Switch feels kind of like, I don't know if it's a software thing or a firmware thing, but like it just feels jittery. It feels laggy.
Yeah, when the first Switch came out, it was on release, because it came out in around the time, maybe a little bit before the PlayStation 5 and whatever the most recent Xbox is called was coming out.
The Switch is only like 5 years old.
The PlayStation 5 is way older than 5 years.
Nope. It is not. You want to know how I know? Because I was going to buy Sean a PlayStation 5 3 months into dating.
Oh.
Which, looking back, would have been a stupid... Not as well, I mean... But looking back was a stupid thought.
Well, when did it come out in the PS4 generation? Well, I know it came out before the 5.
It had to have come out. It came out before COVID because a lot of people were playing it. So probably like 2019. Let me look it up.
Yeah, figure out when the Switch came out. But either way, when it came out, it had the power of like a PlayStation 3, barely. And so it was just outdated on arrival. But with the new one, I think they're making it
March 3rd, 2017.
Yeah. That makes sense.
8-year runtime. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was less powerful than the PlayStation 4, which was the current console generation and like the winner of that generation.
I was still living in California on March 3rd in 2017.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just outdated on arrival, and I think they are beefing it up because they beefed up the OLED when that came out, the Switch OLED. They beefed it up a little bit. I think they're beefing this one up even more. Another
thing I would like to see them beef up is the speakers.
They're doing that.
I don't need Bose, I don't need some, high quality whatever, but it sounds literally like someone is like covering their mouth and talking to me.
No, yeah, they are. They're pretty much, it's a full spec boost plus bigger size plus nicer colors plus new games, I guess.
Okay. Well, yeah.
There's a new 3D Donkey Kong game that's coming out that I would really like to play.
Who are your favorite Nintendo characters?
My favorite Nintendo characters?
Yeah.
Who's the most fucked up Nintendo character that I could pull that's like a really niche pick?
I think all mine are Mario related, minus Kirby. Really a big fan of Kirby.
Kirby? Okay.
The way he eats things.
Okay.
Kirby and Waddle Dee.
Mm-hmm.
Really big fan. Waddle Dee is my profile picture on Nintendo. But the one with the bandana. Bandana Waddle Dee is his name.
Yeah.
Big fan of Donkey Kong. Kind of always seen myself in him. I make a good Donkey Kong impression.
Okay, let me hear it.
Blabm, blabm. I have to shout if I have to do it. I like King Boo. I do a good King Boo impression, and it's not that good. It's just really like...
Okay.
I like the whole Donkey Kong family. I don't like the old one. Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong, there it is.
Diddy Kong's fine. Do you notice Diddy Kong was not in the Mario Kart trailer?
Yeah.
They put him in jail.
They did.
Free Diddy.
Free Diddy. Free my boy. He didn't do anything.
I like Funky Kong.
I always loved it when he invited me to parties.
I like Funky Kong. I don't like playing as Funky Kong. I just like the concept of him.
Yeah, he's just Donkey Kong with a bandana and sunglasses.
Yeah, just like a fucking pride version of Donkey Kong, essentially. Yeah, I like King Boo, like Donkey Kong, like Kirby. I like Goomba. Big fan of Goomba because he reminds me of Havoc.
Oh, it just reminds me of like the head of a penis.
Okay. Your penis got teeth?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That shit bite.
I don't understand why people are sexually attracted to Bowser. People think he's hot. I don't, because all I think about is Jack Black, and that's just not the vibe. Oh, I like Ness. Ness is my second character on Smash.
Okay.
Kirby being my first. Big fan of all the Star Fox people except the frog. Fucking hate. What's his name? Slippy?
I have no idea.
It's Fox, Falco.
It probably is Slippy because that's the name of the like online tool people use to play Melee.
Yeah, it's Fox, Falco, Professor Pepper, I think his name is. It's not Dr. Pepper. There's no way. You've never played Star Fox? Okay. If Switch 2 comes out and they emulate Star Fox Assault,
they are. That's one of, well, I don't know that one specifically, but they did like in the trailer include a Star Fox game. Star Fox
Assault, if that gets emulated, or if I can, you know what? I'm gonna go downtown and see if I can find a GameCube and Star Fox Assault, and I'll get it and we'll play it because it's the best game ever.
Okay.
It is so fucking fun. There's a mode on it where you can, it's like a local like PvP, and you can put like the other characters in as like computers, and you literally just go around collecting like different weapons and like jetpacks and shit, and you can go get tanks and the tanks roll.
Isn't Star Fox like a dogfighting game?
No. Well, Star Fox Assault isn't. Star Fox is a third-person shooter game.
I always thought you were like in a spaceship.
You can. They're called
yeah, but I thought that was the entire game.
No. So in Star Fox Assault, it's like, I think the original Star Fox was like that, but like Star Fox Assault was like, hey, we're going to expand this. And so there's like, you can play as characters and you go to like different planets.
Okay.
And it's so fun because like the mechanics of that game coming out in like 2004, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Because it like there's multiple weapons, everything has different functionalities. You can fly from space to planet side, like,
okay,
it's crazy. It had a crazy, well, it's not free roam, but it's still crazy. Like there's like many different vehicles you can get. There's one map that is the fucking worst. Me and my cousin used to play it all the time. It's essentially like a 3D Tetris map. So it's like, imagine like a Death Star, right? So it's like a planet, and it's all built out of like these neon blocks, but the blocks are completely see-through. It's just like the borders of the blocks that are neon. And the way the map is laid out is just like perfect for sniping. And my cousin used to know how to use the snipers and I didn't. So it was either you were a sniper or you had to go find like the bazookas to like take out the snipers because you were not able to like shoot, and he just would fucking like murk me every time. And the maps are random that it would spawn you into. And so if we got spawned into that, I get so fucking pissed. It's such a fun game. You could do dogfighting in it too. You could do tank fighting. The tanks fly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they like hover up, and you can like literally, like if you're like, oh man, there's a building in front of me, you could just like hover up and go forward and be on the roof of the building, and then like hover down and the tanks roll. Yeah, it's real fun. It's a real fun game. Star Fox is really great. They also have a sexy raccoon.
Okay.
Her name is Crystal, I think.
Crystal,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a monkey named Amadeus, I think his name is. But yeah,
I know a Swedish guy named Amadeus.
I do too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amadeus. But yeah, Star Fox, big fan of Star Fox. Not a fan of Fox himself, but I like Wolf. He's like Fox's ne'er-do-well frenemy. He's not a villain, but he's like an anti-hero. So, yeah. Who are your favorite characters? You never answered it.
I know.
I kind of took over.
I don't. I'm just thinking of the Smash roster, not.
You seem like
most of them are not
the little,
on the roster.
You know the little like
or
night
Nintendo
people
characters.
like Marth and Ike.
I don't know anything about them.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I was like, you kind of seem like you would know a lot about them.
I like the robot guy. What's his name?
Robot guy.
Bob? Is it just Bob? Yeah, the robot guy. He was like
I'll look it up.
He was like an actual, I don't think he ever had his own game, but he was like an actual product that would plug into either the GameCube or the N64. Rob, yeah.
This guy.
Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, Rob. You could plug that guy into one of the consoles and then he would like do shit.
I'm not a huge like Nintendo person outside of like the Mario characters and Star Fox. Even Kirby, I don't know a lot about. I just think he's cute.
Yeah. I don't know much about Kirby.
I like the Air Glider game. That's what I'm really excited for. That game, so fucking fun. You have to drive a little moped.
I'm trying to think. What am I excited to have come out this year? I don't even really know what's coming out this year.
On the Switch too. Let's go.
GTA 6 on the Switch too. Can't wait to play that while I'm pooping. I've just been, the only thing I've been keeping up with releases on is Magic the Gathering stuff. There's still like 5 more sets that are coming out this year that are currently announced.
They should make another Star Wars Force Unleashed game.
I would love that. But they're never going to.
I had it on the Wii. That was a game that was fun on the Wii because you got to swing your little thing around like a lightsaber.
I had the Force Unleashed on DS. I got it on my birthday. And
they should make a Guitar Hero for Switch.
Okay.
Bring back Guitar Hero.
I mean, they got Fortnite on the Switch, right? And then Fortnite has like a Guitar Hero type mode. It's called Fortnite Festival or something.
Fortnite is on every console and has every single character from every single game that has ever been released playable.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess they already have Guitar Hero on Switch if you do that.
It's true.
But yeah, no, I had Force Unleashed on my DS, and then I borrowed somebody's copy for the Wii. I played it for like a minute, and then I didn't
back to the
anymore.
DS.
I tried emulating it on something recently, and it just wasn't running right. I don't know if I just got a bad file or what.
They need to do another Animal Crossing game that's not ass. Because the new Animal Crossing that they released is ass.
That's crazy. You're going to get death threats.
I like the Animal Crossing that came out with the DS.
Yeah, you'll get death threats from me.
From me? Or from you?
Yeah.
Sorry. It's ass. Maybe it's just because I was so advanced in my DS one that I didn't want to restart from the ground up.
Could be.
I don't like the island concept. I liked being able to do shit.
What are you talking about? It was like a complete sandbox. Like on the Switch Animal Crossing, I got all of the villagers that I wanted, right? I completely leveled my island.
My girlfriends in Animal Crossing used to break up with me so often. I wanted to kill myself.
I completely leveled my island in that. I filled in all the rivers and I custom made an entire fucking, like I terraformed the island and then I built it exactly how I wanted it.
Did you have a mansion? Did you get your house up to a mansion?
Yeah. I got my house all the way up. I got the 3 stars or whatever you needed from it. There was also a black market for New Horizons that I was pretty relevant in. I
don't know if you would know what it's called. But I used to, so at my parents' house, I had a friend that lived across the street from me who, like, I went to school with, but we never, like, actually talked at school. It was more like we just hung out because we were both relatively around the same age. And he had a DS, and he had this black insert for the card.
Yeah.
But it went in, and it stuck out about that far on top of the DS, and then you'd put the card in there, and it was like a cheat code stick.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it, but those were around for the longest time. We had one for our Nintendo 64 growing up. This one was called Game Shark. It was, you plug it into the Nintendo, and then you put the cartridge on top of that, and then like a little light would click on it. You turn on the thing, it pulls you into essentially like a debug menu that has a bunch of different cheats you could toggle on and off. And then it would modify the code of the game as it was coming through into the console. to have like different cheats turned on and shit like that. It was called like Cheat Code Unlocked or some shit. The one for the DS.
Yeah, I don't know what this one was called, but I just remember. So you put it in.
Yeah.
You put the card in, and then it like brings up that game, and it's like, okay, here's all the cheats that are available for that. So we would toggle on for Animal Crossing. We toggle on unlimited money, or not unlimited. It would give you 9. I think it was 900. I don't know if it was 1,000 or 900 million, but it would give you either almost a billion or almost a million bells. And then like it had all these different things, and you can like hand select which neighbors you want. You can kick out whatever, and then you would save it, and then you would turn off the DS, take out the black stick, put the Animal Crossing back in just naturally as it's supposed to go, and then that's how the game would be.
Yeah, we had once games started moving more towards discs. On the original PlayStation 2, it had a tray that would pop out, but the version after that, the PS2 Slim, had just a cover that would pop up, and then you would take the disc out and put the new disc in.
I had the pop-up, or my aunt did, so it shouldn't see me.
Yeah, on the OG PS2, there was another Game Shark disc that you could put into it. It would do the same thing. You would select the game, you would select what cheats you want, and then you would hit confirm. It would pop open the tray. You take it out, put your game in, close it, and launches into the game with the cheats enabled. I used it for the original Kingdom Hearts when I was a kid. I did it to give me infinite health, but if I tried to give myself infinite MP, it would just crash the game. But that PlayStation ended up breaking. We still had the Game Shark, but we couldn't use it because it wasn't compatible with the type of PlayStations that like pop. You hit the button to pop the top. Yeah. It had to like eject the tray and then have like another thing in order for it to function.
I think it would be really cool if for the PS6, Sony did a PlayStation 2 emulator, but just for the startup screen, so that it was a crapshoot of whether or not your game was going to start.
I mean, they did something similar on PlayStation's anniversary. It was only for like a week, which sucked because people were like, there should be a feature where we can just choose like our boot up screen. Yeah. But they had, I think it was for PlayStation's like 50th or 30th somethingth anniversary. When you turn on your PS5, it did like the original PlayStation loading, which I always loved that sound. That was a cool ass sound. They're like,
yeah, and then it was like falling into like the columns. What is your favorite? I'm gonna say classic Nintendo, like not like, I don't know. Sure, we'll do like just anything that's not like a recent Nintendo game or like on the Switch, like something from like the GameCube or the 64, even the Wii, I guess, because that's kind of early 2000s. Just not like anything from the last like 10 or 15 years. What is the core memory for you?
I never had a GameCube, so I went N64 to Wii.
That's an insane jump. That's crazy.
I on the N64 played Star Wars Rogue Squadron a lot. Okay. So that was a game I played a fuck ton of. Every now and then I would also play. We had like some NBA game. It wasn't 2K. Street Ball Volume 2. It was like an actual, you're on a basketball court, you play with the teams type game. And for whatever reason, I thought it would be hilarious if I controlled both teams and I would just take full court shots the entire time and just hope it hit.
Did you ever play Street Ball? Street Ball, so fucking. That's another game they need to bring. Street Ball Volume 2 specifically, because that was when Shaq and Kobe were both on the Lakers together. It was like it was after Kobe changed numbers, but before Shaq left the Lakers. So you got three people. So my dream team was literally Shaq, Kobe, and Derek Fisher. Perfect team. Kevin Garnett was still on the Timberwolves. Mike Bibby was a playable character.
I remember that name. Wasn't he on the Kings?
He was. He was like the most famous Kings player. Yeah. Just fucking amazing game. And the only character that you could break the backboard with was Shaq. So I like that. I'd have to say, okay, so if we're talking N64, I've only played one game on N64, and that's like the classic Mario. thing. GameCube, I would have to say my favorite game, probably Star Fox Assault.
Okay.
Like, it's just so... I honestly think... I'm going to my parents' house today. I'm like 99% sure I still have a GameCube there. And like 99% sure I have Star Fox Assault. So if it's there, I'm bringing it back, and I'm going to go down a rabbit hole tonight.
On PlayStation 1, I have like 3 that were tied for first in my head. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I played the shit out of that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have... my friend across the street had Tony Hawk Street something. Tony Hawk. It wasn't Pro Skater, but it was some Tony Hawk something. Tony Hawk Underground.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah. Pac-Man World. Played the shit out of that.
It's a 3D one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
It's a 3D side scroller one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the original Rainbow Six. Okay. I played that a lot too.
Did you ever play the original Transformers movie companion game?
Yeah, I had that for my DS as well.
I had that for PlayStation 2. My aunt had it for PlayStation 2. Really loved being Starscream. Just
the version,
destroying the city.
The version on the DS was interesting because it was like kind of like Pokemon Red, Blue, Green type shit. You either got Transformers Autobots or Transformers Decepticons.
Okay.
And depending on which version you got, it was like a different game, essentially.
Yeah.
You couldn't get a fighter jet in the Transformers Autobot unless you went to like an in-person event and they unlocked it on your card. So I never had the fighter jet.
Hell.
The game also wasn't related at all to the movie. It had the art from like the Michael Bay movie, and it had like the designs of like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and Megatron from the movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't at all related to the movie. You were like this unique Autobot that you would play as, and then you could go around, you can change what you look like by like scanning cars and shit. But yeah, it ends up, the story was like insane. I think at some point like Bumblebee sacrificed himself and died.
The early 2000s like movie companion video games were so funny because they always ended up being actually better than the movie.
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man 2 video game that was with the movie had like Dr. Octopus in it, but then it also had like Black Cat, Shocker, the Vulture, and like a bunch of other people, and it was just so much more interesting and fun. The Batman Begins video game had like the Riddler in it, and I was like, the Riddler's not even in the Batman Begins.
It wasn't movie. Even a fucking thought of the Riddler in that movie, or in any of those movies.
Literally,
there was. Is the Spider-Man 2 game the one from that meme? You know, where Spider-Man like jumps and you're supposed to press a button to swing, and they just
like, I'm gonna
plants.
die. And then, and then that's Spider-Man 3.
Oh, okay.
That's it. They took a nosedive. Spider-Man 2. I don't know if there's any good memes from it. There's not. I had the best mechanics for swinging. In fact, I think the Insomniac Spider-Man took that game and like kind of studied it because the mechanics for it were just so great. It had you being able to like unlock like different swinging moves. Not just like aesthetic swinging, like, you can, do a cannonball or what, like actual like momentum shit.
Oh God, what was it that fucking IGN reviewer said? The effortless swagger of a black teenager. You ever see that shit?
When
he was reviewing the Miles Morales game?
Yeah. Michael, sorry. No, but it sounds like something IGN would say.
He's like, look how he just falls off the building without a care in the world. He's got the effortless swagger of a black teenager. And people are like, what the fuck are you saying?
Effortless swagger of Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, I don't know. GameCube, I would say Star Fox Assault or Spider-Man 2. If I had to pick like a Mario game, Mario Party 4.
Okay.
Just absolute peak Mario Party.
What's next gen console you played after that? Do you go to Wii?
I had a Wii. Me and my sister had a Wii growing up.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked Wii Sports. Sorry.
Okay.
I was a pro bowler. I was pro.
I went crazy on Mario Kart in that. That one I did play online, and I was pretty okay.
I have Mario Kart 2. Not Mario Kart 2, but like as well. My sister and I went a little and who didn't go crazy with the Mii's? But we have like our dogs on there. We had people that died on there. Like we had like Michael Jackson on there. We had like grandparents that died.
I think I made a guy that looked like a burger.
And we would play baseball just to like see them all lined up.
Playing baseball with all of your fucked up memes was always so funny.
The thing is we would know who was gonna win because certain Mii's just fucking cheated.
Yeah.
At baseball, like it's like they just were able to hit anything no matter what you threw at them.
Yeah, we had this Mii that was just named Ugly, and we tried to make the ugliest fucking Mii that we could, and we made this abomination. And whoever had Ugly on their team in baseball was going to lose. Ugly was ass.
I'm trying to think what games I had. So I had Mario Kart for the Wii. I had Wii Sports. I had Wii Sports Resort. I had Force Unleashed.
I think I
got a Wii just for Guitar Hero. And not just Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
I had Lego Rock Band, but I didn't have a guitar.
So I had Lego Star Wars 1, which was the prequels.
Yeah.
For GameCube, but then I had Lego Star Wars 2 for the Wii.
Yeah, I had Lego Star Wars 2 on PS2. I had hella Lego games. I had the Lego Batman game. I played the fuck out of that.
My aunt had the Lego Batman game. Yeah. I liked that game. Lego Batman
first
was the only good one. Everything after that was fucking ass.
Yeah, on Steam they had a sale of like all the Lego games at one point, and they were super cheap. And so I was like, oh, I played Lego Batman 1. Let me get 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 is when they started having the Lego people talk in the games. And it was like an open world exploration thing. It has
to be slapstick.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? Where's my door that I can walk in to select a level? Like,
literally.
I hated it. It was so bad.
Yeah. They also have like Lego DC villains where it was like you could just play as the villains.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? They have a Lego MCU game where it's an open world game like that.
Yeah.
It's just awful. I didn't have a Wii U. My aunt had a PS2. I would say my favorite game on PS2 was Battlefront 2. Just full stop. Nothing's gonna top that. It's probably my favorite, second favorite game ever.
We had so many PS2 games. I played an Ace Combat game. I forget which one it was. I played an Ace Combat game a lot. There was this Need for Speed Underground 2 we had on the PlayStation 2. I played the fuck out of that.
I love Need for Speed Underground 2. I used to fucking drive the Honda Civic. That was my car.
I think
it was purple with orange flames on it. I had spinners. It looked like a fucking Sacramento car. I was priming myself.
I had what did I drive in that? It was a Nissan, but I can't remember the model.
I never liked the Nissans. They were too slow for me.
Oh, you weren't tuning it right then.
I know. Yeah. It took me a lot to figure out how to use my Honda Civic.
I played that a lot. There was a game where you were a spy. It was like another kind of driving game, but you were a spy in a car. The car could transform into like a boat and a motorcycle.
You just unlocked a fucking memory in my mind. Have you ever played Ballistic?
What is that?
It's I had it on Game Boy. And it was a game. One of the characters' name was like Sever or Seaver, but it was spelled like Sever. And it was essentially like a enemies to like lovers kind of game.
Okay.
But it was like there was a guy and there was a girls of FPS game. And you just go around like these compounds killing people.
Okay.
And it was essentially like just a spy game, and it was very pixelated and everything. Like, fucking awesome. Fucking just terrific.
I had a Siphon Filter game that I played a lot of. I had a
TMNT game for GameCube that was really good. It was a companion to the show, so of course it was better than the show.
Was it Shredder's Revenge?
It might have been. Let me look it up because I don't think there was too many TMNT games floating around. TMNT GameCube. No, it was just called TMNT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait. I lied. It was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like it literally was like Just the show.
Just the show.
It was literally just the show. But it was nice because it was like Pac-Man World.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 3D, kind of open world, kind of not.
Okay. We had the OG Hitman games.
Never played Hitman.
I played them a little bit, but I wasn't ever good at it. What's his name? Fucking Sam Fisher? The spy guy that's got like the 3-eyed night vision goggles. He's like a Tom Clancy character.
Oh, I have no idea. Don't ask me. That's a Josh question.
Yeah, I don't know what that game is called, but we had like 2 games that had him in it. But game of all games for me will always be Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PlayStation 2.
I would say if I had to go every game that I've ever played in my life, probably Red Dead 2 is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
If I can, if it's allowed, I would just say Red Dead as a whole, because they're kind of connected, because Red Dead 2 ends literally right where Red Dead 1 starts.
Splinter Cell, that's the name of those
Splinter
games.
Cell, gotcha. Yeah, Red Dead 2 ends right where Red Dead 1 starts.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a 2-month difference. So, like, I would go so far as to say just the Red Dead Redemption title is my favorite game of all time. Followed closely by Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
the original
Battlefront 2 was good. I had Battlefield 2.
I didn't have... Okay, so this is the whole thing. So I wasn't really allowed to watch TV growing up, but I was allowed to play video games, but only for like 30 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom and dad bought me a Game Boy for when we would go on car trips, because we would go on a lot of like road trips, because my grandparents lived in Oroville. Okay. So we would drive up there like quite frequently. And then I would also stay there for like the summer, because it was Oroville back in 2000 and like 3, 4, 5. There was just no internet, no cable or anything. So I like literally would just have nothing to do. So like they bought me a Game Boy for that purpose of like, okay, if you're like going on like trips or whatever. Mm-hmm. So for Game Boy, I had things like Ballistic. I had another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I had this game called Batman Vengeance, which was a companion game to the Batman animated series, the one with Kevin Conroy.
Okay.
So I had the Game Boy. I was allowed to have that. And then the Wii came out, and then they were like, oh, we have Wii Sports. And so my parents were like, oh, that's kind of healthy.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought that, oh, I'm going to be healthy, let me buy a Wii.
Yeah. So they got me a Wii, and then I had like other games on it. But I wasn't allowed to have the type of games that everyone else grew up with. Like, I had Mario and stuff, and I don't think that that's like uncommon or anything like that. But like all my friends in like middle school and stuff were playing Call of Duty. The first Call of Duty game I ever played was Black Ops.
Same.
Yeah. So what happened is my aunt had a PS3, because my aunt is like the cool aunt, and so she has had every single PlayStation that's ever came out. And she just goes out and buys games. She has like hundreds of games at her apartment. Like she just literally you could probably go there and like borrow any game from her. She literally just has all of them lying around. Okay. So she bought Medal of Honor and let me play that. That was my first
Medal of Honor on the PlayStation 3.
On the PlayStation 3, the one where
you're in the Middle East.
You're 3 different guys. You're a Marine. You're a Ranger. That's a sniper.
Yeah.
Dusty, and I don't remember the other guy. The guy that you actually are, I don't know his name, but the Dusty was the guy with the beard, and then the soldier, the one that actually dies.
Yeah. I played that one too. The online for that was crazy. You ever play the online?
Yes, and I remember growing up. This was back in my Republican era, and I was like, this is super wrong. You shouldn't be allowed to be the Taliban. Like, it's wrong to kill American soldiers on a game, especially since we're there now. And then I like went ahead and played Black Ops, and I was like, I'm Russian. So she let me play that. I wasn't allowed to play first person shooters. So I was allowed to have Nintendo growing up, but like PlayStation I was not. So like my aunt had the PlayStation 2, so like Battlefront 2 I played at her house. Medal of Honor played there. Call of Duty Black Ops played there. And then I also played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City at her house. And then when Arkham Origins came out, that's when I convinced my parents to let me get a PS3.
Okay.
So the first game that I ever owned on that I ever owned on PlayStation was Batman Arkham Origins.
Yeah, I was always playing on like the family console that we had, but the first one that I bought for myself was a PlayStation 3, the Modern Warfare 3 bundle. I was really fucking good at Modern Warfare 3.
I had MW3. So basically what happened is my other aunt, who also has a PlayStation, bought a PlayStation 3 and bought a bunch of games, but she's very much more of like a platformer type of person. So she likes like Mario and all that shit. So she bought MW3, Black Ops 2.
That was another one I loved.
She bought Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Yeah. And then she bought GTA. And she didn't like any of them. So she just gave them to me.
Oh, hell
and so I had those, but I didn't tell my mom I had them. So I had to play them at night when my mom was asleep. So the only game that my mom knew that I had for PlayStation 3 was Origins. And then I eventually went out and bought Arkham City and Arkham Asylum to replay. But then I bought a PS4 and I bought that for Destiny.
What did I buy my PS4 for? I think I just bought it to have it. I don't think I bought it for... Or no, I bought it for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out on PS4?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It was a 13-year gap between 2 and 3.
Okay.
There were other games in between them, but...
I always associate Kingdom Hearts with the PlayStation 1.
It was never on the PlayStation 1.
Yep. Yep. It's always an old game to me. I still don't have a PS5, but I will be getting one if it's not $10 million.
Yeah. I managed to get one pretty soon after they came out because I got an email from Sony that was like, hey, you've been selected to buy a PS5, or emailing people with PlayStation accounts to buy PS5s to prevent scalping.
Okay, so you know how my PS4 has the external drive on it?
Yeah.
Can you do that with PlayStation 5 yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you could do that from launch.
Oh, well then I might just do that and just take Sean's, because
they also
that's my concern is GTA 6 is going to be 8,000 million terabytes of space to put it on there. So
they also now have upgraded SSDs that you can buy and then install into the PS5. Like you just take the old one out, put the new one in.
Okay.
Only problem is they're like $300.
I mean, that driver that I have is 3 terabytes, I think. And that was like $160.
Yeah. The external drives fucking suck. I hate them. At least on the PlayStation 5. I think it was better on the 4.
Wait, so here's the difference. So on at least as far as I know, I don't know how the PlayStation 5 works. On the PS4, the games I have, every single game I own stored on that drive except for Red Dead and GTA. The Rockstar games are the only ones that are on my actual hard drive.
Yeah. I
can still play all the games from the drive. I don't have to like move the storage over.
No, yeah, you don't have to do that with the 5 either. But when you can only store PS4 games on the drive. 5s have to be installed locally.
That's going to be a problem because Sean doesn't have any PS4 games on the PS5 right now. He has a bunch of PS4 games, but we don't have them on there.
Yeah, they have to be installed locally. And when you are downloading or updating a game that's stored on the drive, it just takes fucking twice as long because it has to download it and then it has to rewrite it to the drive. And it could just be because I have an old ass slow drive. Okay. But it always just takes fucking forever to download anything on that.
So maybe I will get a 5. I don't know. I know for sure if I get a 5, I'm not getting the stupid discless one.
Yeah. I got one with a built-in disc. I think I have like 2 discs.
That's bad. You need to get physical media.
They just don't sell them anymore.
I know,
it's always like out of stock because like they ship 2 copies.
I'm a huge proponent of physical media.
I like physical discs, but there's honestly no point to even buying the physical disc anymore.
Well, yeah, there is, because they can yank out your shit from you and say, "Oh, you don't own that anymore."
Yeah, they can still do that with the physical disc because the game is not on the disc.
What's on the disc?
It's just like a key that says you can play this game.
That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, because when you put the disc in,
who's the CEO of Sony?
I don't know, some Japanese guy. When you put the disc in, it doesn't just start the game up right away like it would with the older consoles. It downloads the game onto your drive, and then updates it.
Oh, I thought those
and
were
then
always
you
just
play.
day one updates.
No, no matter what game it is, everything ships with the day one update as well. But it will just install the game locally. That's why consoles are now like 5 terabytes.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't.
Because all of the game data is just on your console, and then the disc is just saying like, yes, you can access this data that's installed on your console. So there's
is that
no
why people
point.
like PCs more?
I wouldn't say that's a reason why people like PCs more. I mean, you don't need a disc for anything on PC. Like,
yeah,
fucking disk drives died 15 years ago at this point. But people like PCs just because it's more like flexible.
I just don't like keyboards. Like
you can plug in a controller to a PC.
I just don't want to build a PC.
Yeah,
because you're always like, oh man, I got to get a new flopping fuck for my my hard drive.
They are big investments up front, but over time it'll be a lot cheaper than just buying every single console. They're ugly.
Yeah,
you can make it look however you want.
Everyone's is all neon now, and I'm like, guys,
yours doesn't have to be neon. Okay. You can design it however you want.
That was like the standard. I was like, guys, this is not a college girls' dorm room.
It won't turn on if it doesn't have RGB fans. Like,
okay,
you can just build a normal looking PC.
Yeah,
if you want something boring.
Do you think I could get like a?
Yeah, smack that bitch.
Yeah, I just want like a standard tower.
Yeah, you can do that.
I also just don't like Windows. Sorry. It's just, I can't. Dude, oh my God, at work, we have my new job has fucking Windows 11.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have the new Outlook. Mm-hmm. And Outlook is just, have you ever used Outlook before?
Nope.
Outlook is ass. Microsoft has never done anything good. Ever. Like there is I don't quite frankly understand how Bill Gates has any money because like it's ass. Like it is so fucking ass. But Outlook is like notorious for like losing shit. Mm-hmm. Like into the void. So very similar to how we did stuff when I worked with you. I never delete anything. I just put everything from the main inbox into a subfolder, into folders so that I can reference it, right? Uh-huh. Logic would dictate. You type up project name Smith. Everything with Smith in that email is going to come up. Mm-hmm. I will do that at work with Outlook and just nothing comes up. And I'm like, okay, I know I've talked to this person 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Nothing will come up. I'll search emails from my coworkers and they don't come up.
Crazy.
Yeah. So the new Outlook is an even more minimalistic, flat design. They took away the phishing button. They took away the forwarding button.
What?
Yeah, you have to like go into a reply and then click forward now.
That's so dumb.
It's just so counterintuitive, like in the name of like being more flat and minimalistic. And I'm like, guys, I just want to be able to search my emails. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like Windows as like a system, which is why like I'm like, can I game on a Mac?
No, you can't. There are so many things that are just not supported, just because they're just not built for Mac.
I remember,
or the Mac just can't handle it.
I remember in high school, my parents bought me a laptop for writing like essays because my dad was like, "You can't be using this." Mm-hmm. So they bought me the cheapest laptop they could find, and it functioned.
Acer Chromebook.
And this was back in 2013, so I don't even think Chromebooks were around.
Okay.
It was is it Acer?
Acer?
Acer.
ACER?
Yeah. It was an Acer laptop. It was about this thick.
Yep.
Folded up. It had like a shiny blue lid, but then like it was like black. I tried to play Dota 2 on it and it fucking blew up. Just crashed the system completely.
Interesting.
Yep. It just absolutely torched it. Just lost everything.
I mean, that MacBook right there can run League of Legends, and
that MacBook can run Fortnite.
That's about it. It can. It's not going to run it well.
Oh, it does.
But
there's Fortnite on it.
Yeah, it's on it. It's not going to do it well, is what I'm getting at.
What was the game? Did you ever go to like computer lab in elementary school?
Yes.
The dinosaur game?
Oh, I
that
don't
used to be on
know.
Mac.
I was going onto the websites you weren't supposed to and playing games there. I played
Oh.
Armor Games. I went to Armor Games a lot.
I played, was it Super Monkey Ball?
Super Monkey Ball? Yep.
Yeah, did that. That was my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another, Marble Blast Gold.
Marble Blast Gold. I don't know about
Same
that.
concept as Super Monkey Ball, just you're a marble.
Oh, okay. I was playing Fancy Pants Adventure. I was playing
Heck is Fancy Pants Adventure?
there was like some, it was kind of like a tower defense game, but not really. Obviously I played balloons. But it was like, it was all like stick figure guys. There was like a castle or like a mansion you were defending. You could upgrade it with like turrets and like missile launchers and shit. And there would be hordes of people coming in from the left that you had to blow up.
You know what? I think I did play that.
Yeah,
But,
that one was fun. There was like some sniper in a tower game that I used to play a lot.
Interesting. They just were not locking that shit. You probably could have pulled up Pornhub if you wanted to, honestly.
Probably. But no, yeah, Armor Games was my shit. I played hella Flash games.
Hmm. What's your preferred console? Like if quality of game doesn't matter, you know,
Like actual console PCs out of it? Because I would just say PC.
You would just say like that's the best console or like
it's the
gaming platform that you've ever owned.
Yeah, okay. Because like the PS4, you're locked into whatever games are on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If something is not available on Steam, I can go find an emulator. I can just download and install a PS4 on my computer, essentially, to play games.
I think my favorite's PS3.
Okay. Yeah, the PS3 was hype.
I think it was peak.
Yeah.
I think it was peak. I think there was too many problems on the PS4 when it came out. The 19-day... Do you remember PlayStation Network going down for 19 days?
Yeah.
That was on PS4.
Yeah. Well, there's a huge data breach with PS3.
I don't remember that, and quite frankly, what are they going to do with my email as a 15-year-old?
Well, I mean, yeah, probably you didn't have much issues, but people would have like their payment info.
Yeah, my payment info was Visa gift cards that I hooked up because that's what I would get for Christmas. So yeah. I literally had to bet to be able to play games on PlayStation Plus. I had to bet on getting at least $50 for Christmas. Yeah,
I would go and I would just buy like the PlayStation cards that you just type in the code and it's like, oh, you've got $20. Yeah. And then I would buy the Call of Duty DLCs with
That's how I would do it, yeah. I actually started doing that permanently because when I got a PS4, I got my identity stolen. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know if someone used my credit card, and bought a bunch of fucking Rocket League shit, and I was like, get this shit off my $300.
Damn, that was crazy.
League. And I was like, this is gay. I'm sorry.
They someone stole my debit card at some point, and the bank didn't notify me about it. They just blocked my card. I hate and so I went to use my card and it didn't work. And so I went to the bank and I was like, hey, I can see my account. I can see I have money in it. I just tried to make like a $5 purchase and it didn't work. Can you tell me what's happening? And they were like, oh, we blocked your card. Last night, mind you, I was in Vacaville at the time. There was a bank across from my job. So I just walked over to the bank afterwards. And they were like, last night, did you try to hire an escort in Great Britain? And I was like, no.
Do you know? Okay.
So they're like, okay, we blocked the card because of that. And I was like, thank you. But like,
next time,
can you fucking tell me? Yeah.
Yeah. So I've told you this 1,000 times, but they used to block my card anytime I would leave Vacaville.
Yeah.
I was literally in San Francisco once, paid for parking, and they blocked it. So I couldn't get home because I needed gas.
Yeah. I've heard that from a few people. I have gone across the country and purchase things in California, purchase things in Texas, and purchase things in Florida on the same day, and they just didn't do anything about it. So I'm afraid if someone actually takes my card, they're just not going to do anything about it.
Yeah,
because I think I asked them to
checking account.
Fucking tell me.
Do you know how? So this was my credit card. And that's why I put my credit card on my PS4 just in case that happened, because credit cards are very easy to like.
Yeah.
do fraud claims on. It's actual physical money that's like harder to do.
Yeah.
So I called my credit card company and they were like, so you didn't make these purchases? And I was like, no. You know how they determined that it was fraud? They looked at my purchase history on PlayStation and they were like, you've never played Rocket League. And I was like, yeah, why would I start now? Like, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and reverse them.
Crazy.
And I was like, okay. Yeah.
So like, you're too ass for this skin.
Well, that's the whole thing. They bought FIFA, like the actual game, and then they bought a bunch of like downloads for Rocket League, and I was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I'd say PS3, and then probably Game Boy Advance, not original Game Boy.
Okay.
The little square one.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I had the rectangle one that didn't fold.
The original one.
Yeah.
I'd say Game Boy. I also liked the DS, but I think the DS was a little gimmicky.
I loved the DS. I had a DS and then I upgraded to a DSi.
The DS Lite.
I was mad that they took away the Game Boy cartridge, but I had so many good DS games that I just didn't care.
The game that Sean is in my room right now playing behind. That's a GameCube game, or not a GameCube. Sorry, a DS game.
Super Mario Galaxy. It was on the Wii.
It was also on the DS.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that it's like Super Mario
Sunshine.
There's that, and then there's another one. It's like you go into a mansion, and you jump into pictures.
Nintendo or Super Mario 64.
Yeah. That was also, I had that on DS that I really liked.
And it's a castle. Peach's castle.
Sorry.
Yoshi's chilling on the back up at the top after a little while.
Can't you like ride Yoshi in that game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to race him.
Oh, I also like King Babam.
Mm-hmm.
I like anyone with a mustache. I think it's real cute when Nintendo gives people a mustache. King Babam, the Thwomps. Those are the concrete guys, right?
Yeah.
And then I like the blue guys, the blue Joe guys that go brrr when they like hit the ground.
I think those are also Thwomps, just different like designs.
Different racial boundaries there.
Yeah.
Do you think they allow interracial mixing in the Super Mario world?
They've ethnically divided the Thwomps.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
all right.
What is your favorite gaming platform? And what is your favorite video game?
And what two groups would you ethically divide?
In Mario, specifically. Which ones could never mingle? Mine, Toads. Toads and anyone else.
Toads and anyone else. You think Mario's part Toad? Because he's like same height as them, but everyone else is like normal height.
Well, according to Chris Pratt, Mario's just Italian from Brooklyn. So, did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It was so bad.
I thought it was fun. I had a good time. I think they need to do better for the next movie, but I had a good time.
They shouldn't make a next movie.
Oh my God. Did you see the Minecraft movie yet?
No.
Did you see that it's going to it made last night, because it came out last night, 4 times the predicted box office opening.
Oh my God.
Because people are going to hate watch it. And I'm like, you guys are going to get us a Minecraft
There's
2.
not that many people that are hate watching it to where it makes 4 times.
Have you seen the videos from the theaters?
I've seen the memes where it's like I scream out water bucket as I piss all over the child in the seat in front of me.
No, dude. There's like a thing where he's like, I am Steve. And like people will go to the theaters or going to theaters and like shouting that. It's like a Marvel movie. And then like there's like a scene where they're in like a wrestling ring and there's like a zombie on a chicken. And they call it like a chicken jockey.
Yeah.
And it comes out and they go, chicken jockey.
Yeah.
And like the videos I'm seeing, like the theaters are screaming this shit.
Yeah, but that is not an entire theater of people hate watching it. That's what I'm saying.
It has to be.
No, Minecraft is so fucking huge. It's just people actually enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go be mad about it for the rest of the day. Okay. Oh, socials.
Yes.
Did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, I was just waiting for you.
Conniving.
Yeah.
You know, Sean didn't know what the definition of conniving was.
What, did you think you were just pronouncing knifing wrong?
No, but I said that Havoc is a conniving fiend, which he is. And then he was like, what does that even mean? Okay.
He owns all these books and doesn't know all the words.
Half of these books aren't his. Half of these are mine. I'd say at least half of mine. Okay. YouTube, we are Learning Curve Pod. Bluesky, we are learningcurve.bsky.social. Twitter, we are at learncurvepod. Instagram, we are at learningcurve.podcast. TikTok, we are at Learning Curve Podcast, and we just got another 75-day extension.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah.
I forgot that was happening.
Well, apparently the deal was like, this is the whole thing. So they were like, oh, we're going to do the deal, blah, 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 blah. Whatever they were going to fucking do that was fake.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trump was like, tariffs. And then China was like, okay, no deal. Like, what? So like, I guess the deal fell apart, but they signed another 75-day extension. So we'll see you on June 18th for that. Bodhi's Twitch is Shrink3Dink.
Yeah, I haven't streamed in like 3 weeks.
You gotta like make announcements, like big announcements when you're streaming. Like you gotta make a streaming schedule.
I know. I need to do a lot of things. Like I need to do laundry when I get home. I have to go to PetSmart. I have to eat food. And you have to press that subscribe button. Leave us some comments. Leave us some likes. Let us know how you are thinking about this. How you are feeling about this, rather. And let us know what we can improve on. If there's anything you want us to talk about.
We got feedback.
On what?
On new listeners. So a lot of people for last week's episode for the traders were like, oh, I wasn't listening to this podcast before, but like now I'm in.
Okay.
So the traders was popular.
What platform are we getting those on?
What do you mean?
Like, is it people saying that on YouTube, or is it people?
Oh, people like DM'd
TikTok?
me and told me. They were like, okay. Like I saw that you've been like talking about the podcast, and like I just haven't had the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to, but I haven't had the time. But I saw that you like said like the traders was the central theme of your last episode. So now I'm listening to it, and I'm like, okay, cool. We also had someone say that they started listening when they saw that we were doing the execution episode.
Okay. So we're just hitting a whole bunch of different markets.
We're in 5 different countries now. We have broken into the French market, unfortunately. But
well, you do like cigarettes, so
drunk cigarettes.
They'll accept you.
Okay.
All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.